Another exciting edition college football here at Picks and Parlays. I'm Tony K. We have a special guest on this week as well, David Delano. He's going to break down a couple college football games for you. I have two games as well, so we're going to jump right in with the action. David, how are you this week?
I'm doing great. Just only downside, I've been killing it in Major League Baseball. I know we're here to talk about football, but just got a push in that game between the Guardians and the Tigers with that explosion at the beginning. So, but other than that, doing great.
Yeah, I saw you were 9-1 your last 10, so 90%. You're definitely on fire with your selections. And that's what I tell everybody, build the bankroll with the baseball playoffs, WNBA, whatever you're hot in, and build that bankroll for the weekend college and NFL action.
Absolutely. They all cash the same.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, visit picksandparlays.net. Get his premium plays plus his free selections as well. Check out the hot handicappers, and you'll be glad you did. You can find them on X, Get Sports Strong on Twitter, or now called X, right? Get Sports Strong.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
All right. Hey, let's jump right in. First game I'm going to look at goes at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, Florida at Texas. Both teams off a bye week. And I think, Texas is going to decide this game with their defense. Florida's not really playing well offensively, and the Texas defense, I think that's going to be the difference maker. They're fourth in yards allowed this year. The Florida defense is banged up. Even though they're coming off a bye, they're still banged up. They're allowing 33 points per game. So I think this is a game where Texas gets their offense on track. Florida's quarterback, Lagway, he's struggled with a lot of mistakes so far in the games. And I think the Texas defense is going to give them a rough time. And that's going to be the difference maker here. I'll gladly lay the 6 points in this game. Texas it's 6.5. So we're going to go with Texas minus 6.5. I don't know what you think about that game, David. Any feel on that game?
I like your play there with Texas. I mean, Florida's just such a hard team to trust, and we're kind of been waiting to see the best version of Texas. And I think that we're going to start to see them trending in that right direction against strong competition this week. So I can't disagree with you there.
Yeah, laying less than a touchdown. I think they get their offense on track and get a big win here at home. All right, game number 2. You're going to take a look at Penn State, UCLA.
Yeah, so we got a Big Ten matchup here. Still feels weird with saying Big Ten. It feels like this should be a potential Rose Bowl matchup, but not Rose Bowl the way that UCLA is playing. So you got UCLA obviously on the surface 0-4, Penn State 3-1. And they fired Deshaun Foster over there at UCLA. Been a little bit to just a bad luck train for them. Nico Iamaleava, obviously he was big name over the offseason, leaving Tennessee, trying to get all that money in the transfer portal. He's at UCLA, and they're 0-4 in a season that's included losses to UNLV and New Mexico. But they are home in this spot, and you think 25.5 points could be a lot to lay. But I have to go with Penn State here. As crazy of a number as this is, a few things that I like with Penn State. One, they're coming off of that tough loss to Oregon. And people get on James Franklin a lot about his losses in top 10 games and just being able to get Penn State over the hump. But one thing about James Franklin is he really shines in these games as a big favorite. We saw that 52-6 win by Penn State earlier this season against Villanova. For people who didn't see that, Villanova was down 52-0. They scored on the last play of the game. And you could tell James Franklin was ticked off about that because he wanted the shutout. Basically, James Franklin, he's a little bit of an a-hole when it comes to these games. But when you have a big spread, that's the type of coach that you want to back, because 25.5 points, sometimes you can say, well, do the coaches care about covering a number this big? But James Franklin does. He's been great even as a road favorite since being at Penn State. Great at covering these big numbers and coming off of a loss to Oregon. I think that Penn State wins this by 4 touchdowns. So I know it's a big number, but I'm going to lay the 25.5 with Penn State.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there, especially Penn State off that rough loss against Oregon. A lot of people blamed Aller for the pass. He had that bad pass. He had the bad pass against Notre Dame last year. So maybe it's the play calling, maybe it's a quarterback play, but I do think Penn State bounces back in a big way. 25.5-point favorite, and the total set at 50. So I think Penn State's going to roll them. What do you think of that game against Oregon?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Ducks going in with the points, but I stayed off of it personally. Sometimes, as much as these games are fun to talk about, I get a little hesitant with sometimes the big games that everybody's looking at. But I still give James Franklin credit overall. I mean, he's taking this Penn State. I know a lot of guys, even our buddy Sniper West, he like to come down on him pretty hard for not winning these top 10 games, but not too many guys get in this situation. He's got Penn State in a lot better of a place. I still think that they're in a good position to get the get the playoffs, but I definitely understand that people are critical. But that's a really good Oregon team. So I mean, somebody's got to win.
Yeah, the Oregon is tough. I mean, I was surprised Penn State only had 3 points at halftime. I expected the offense to play a little bit better, but maybe the Oregon defense is better than we think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
right.
Ducks are out to prove a point this year.
Oh yeah. They could easily run the table. The rest of their schedule is, pretty easy. Guys, make sure you give us a like, subscribe, thumbs up here on the video. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. You'll be notified each and every time we put out a new video. Also, add your comments down below. Like, subscribe, add your comments. If there's a game we didn't cover, we could give you our opinion on that game. Just add it in the comments down below. And be sure to visit picksandparlays.net, not only for our free picks, but our premium selections in college football all weekend long. My second game on this video, I'm going to take a look at Nevada at Fresno State. This game goes late Saturday night, kicks off at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Fresno, another team coming off their bye week, 4 straight wins. Their only loss came in week 0. That was way back in August, week 0 against Kansas. This is a nationally televised game on CBS Sports Network. I think this Fresno State team is very good. They've beaten everybody except Kansas in week 0. They're facing Nevada, who's not very good, 1-3 with losses to Penn State. We just talked about them. Middle Tennessee State, and also who do I have? Western Kentucky. So last year, this game was played in Nevada. It was a 3-point game, 24-23. I think this time around, Fresno gets a big win. They're laying 14 points in this one. I have them winning this game by 20 or more points. And I expect a blowout here at home. I like Fresno by 22 late Saturday night. It could be your late bailout play here Saturday night.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about these games before, so I would love to, just for the sake of debate, to disagree with you. But even before you gave the pick out, I was thinking Fresno State's the play. I'm not high on this Nevada team at all, so I agree with you again. I can't disagree just for the sake of disagreeing. I think Fresno State is definitely the play here as well.
Good. All right, one more selection. Who you got Saturday night?
All right, so looking at a little bit of a game that may be under the radar, Memphis Tigers against the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. And last week I was on Memphis. They were coming off of a big win against Arkansas, big upset win, comeback, emotional win. And I took them against FAU. Some of my counterparts didn't like that too much because they thought that it would be a little bit of a letdown, but I wasn't too worried about it. I still bagged Memphis, but it did take a 31-point effort in the fourth quarter, even though they beat FAU 55-26, added a couple touchdowns in the last 3 minutes of the game to make it look a little more dominant than it was. I mean, it was dominant, but we're talking about, almost a 30-point win here. On the other side, you got a Tulsa team. They're coming off of a tough 31-14 loss to Tulane. They did compete in that game. That was a game that was a little bit closer than the final score indicated. They was tied at one point. They lost to a tough Navy team, lost to New Mexico State early in the season. But I do think that this is a spot where, not saying we're going to have a letdown to where they're going to lose, but I do think that laying 20.5 points is a bit much here for Memphis. And even going back, I don't always like to get too into some of these trends, and I know we've had different coaches, different players, a lot of time has passed, but Tulsa as a program now 24-6 against the spread in their last 30 road games as a double-digit dog. So Tulsa's a proud program. They beat Oklahoma State in that nationally televised game, and then fell to Tulane, 20.5 points. I could see this being a 38-21, 38-24 type game. I don't think that Tulsa wins this game, but I do think that they keep this respectable. So I'm going to take the road dog here. I'm going to take Tulsa plus 20.5 in this one.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you as well. The total is set high, 55.5. And, I could see a 38-28 type of game, 38-24. So you're getting a lot of points here with Tulsa. So I agree with your underdog selection there.
All right. Sounds like a 4-0 sweep. People can put those no, always wager responsibly, but we like them right now.
All right. We got expert handicapper David Delano. Recapping our 4 plays, I like Texas and Fresno State. David likes Penn State and Tulsa. Guys, be sure to visit picksandparlays.net. Get the premium plays and all your winning action all week long, especially throughout the baseball playoffs and your college and NFL action. Guys, thanks for tuning in. David, thanks for joining me this week, and good luck with your action.
Good luck to you too. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.